Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayn. I'm an events manager in the publishing industry. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really supports me massively. The first thing that I'm going to say is that rejection isn't personal, and this is something you just have to accept and embrace. You will come across rejection. People will reject you for jobs, for projects. When someone turns you down for a job or they don't get back to you, it isn't because you were the wrong candidate. And I think you need to just have a bit of a shift in mindset. It was because there was someone else that was better suited for the position. Doing that will kind of relieve some of the pressure that you put on yourself if you feel rejected. Because if you do feel rejected, then you're gonna think that you're not good enough or that you haven't done something well enough. All those negative thoughts are not gonna help you to get back on track and continue to send all those applications. I think you need to think about what is the best way to face the rejection, kind of deal with it, deal with the feelings that come with it, but then move on from it very fast. There's no one on the other side that thinks, oh my God, I've just read Sarah's application. It's absolutely horrible. I really dislike her. They're not gonna know who you are. They're not gonna know what you have done. They're only gonna see a lot of CVs. Sometimes you're gonna send one with a typo. Sometimes you're gonna send something that is maybe less stronger than another candidate that has got literally the perfect experience. And that's just how it's going to be. So make sure that you do not take rejection personally. The second thing that I'm gonna say is to manage your expectations. I know that you are very enthusiastic and you really want to join our industry, but at the same time, there's a lot of you. There's a lot of people that love books, and there is a lot of people that want to make it into the industry. And to be honest, there aren't as many jobs as there are applications. So it is going to be competitive. Well, because of the current situation, it might take even longer. And if you set that expectation and if you manage your own expectation on when you're going to land that job, that is going to help you in terms of not feeling like a failure. You're not going to start feeling like a failure unless you have set yourself up with some unrealistic goals. So for you to say, I am going to start to send an application or even 100 applications in 1 week, and I expect to hear back and land a job within a month, to me, that sounds unrealistic. And if you say that to yourself and then that doesn't happen, which is, let's face it, most likely not going to happen, at that point, you are going to feel like you have done something wrong, like you didn't make it. And you don't want that kind of negativity. So I think, managing your expectations and thinking, okay, I'm in it for the long run. It might take me a long time. It might take me months. It might take me up to a year. What am I going to do in between whilst I send those applications? Am I set up in the right way? Do I have a job that pays the bills? Can I accumulate other experience? Can I volunteer somewhere? Think about how you're going to prepare for a long journey. And then if the journey gets short and you land a job within your first month of applying, then amazing. But if you don't, you would have prepared yourself for that. And you'll know that that was never the expectation and that it's fine. You just have to keep going. The third thing that I'm going to mention is to change your mindset. And of course, this is also part of the managing expectations and the realizing that rejection isn't personal. But changing your mindset is going to massively help you in terms of making sure that you don't invest any particular position or any particular application with too much meaning. And what I mean by that is, if you didn't get a job that you thought you were perfect for it, trust me, you were not perfect for it. That was not the right job for you. There's going to be a great one around the corner that is actually the perfect position for you. We often have this feeling of, this job, I was made for it. It's got my name written all over it. I've got to say, every single career break that I have had was preceded by a rejection. And it was specifically by a rejection for a job that I thought I was absolutely made for. Clearly I wasn't, and clearly there was something else that was just around the corner for me. And I think changing your mindset and approaching every application as an opportunity to grow instead as an opportunity to land the perfect job. Get into the process thinking, I am going to learn a lot. Whether I land this job or not, I'm going to learn how to create a better cover letter, a better CV. I'm going to learn more about this company. I'm going to learn more about this specific imprint. I'll do some research around their books and what they're doing. I may be connecting with some interesting people, because you might get to interview stage, get to know some people, actually get a rejection, but you can use that as a networking opportunity as well. So change your mindset and really look at the journey to get into publishing as very much part of your training. Because the journey is going to be so long, I think it's important that you're realistic and that you use your energy wisely. So make sure that you optimize any kind of process. So for example, have you got a template for your CV? Have you got a template ready for your cover letter that you can then quickly tailor when a position comes up that you want to apply to. Make sure that you've got websites where there is information about publishing saved and bookmarked on your browser so that you can access them quickly. Make sure that you have got some notes saved on the Big Five if you are planning on getting in one of those. It's going to be very helpful to know what their values are. Take some notes, get ready and get prepared for everything in advance and kind of keep a good track of it. And try to review also your CV. So if you're in it for the long run, think about, right, okay, so I've applied for 5 jobs a month ago. Can you go back and look at your CV and spot some mistakes? Because usually there's always mistakes. There's always improvement opportunities, but focus on making sure that you're not wasting your energy and that you are trying to optimize everything. Because chances are you're going to be working on the side of doing this, or maybe you're going to be at university. So you're going to have a lot of other things in your life. And what you don't want it to do is for it to become a burden. You don't want to feel stressed when there is an application and you know that you're going to want to send your CV and cover letter in as soon as possible. And you also don't want it to become something that makes you unhappy and sad and anxious. Another super important thing when trying to get into a new industry, and especially when trying to get into publishing because it's so competitive, is to make sure you have a good support network. And you can do this in lots of different ways. And of course, your personal support network, your family, your friends, those are going to be very important. But it's important also to try and connect with people who have either gone through a similar thing or even people that are going through a similar thing right now. Because there's a lot that you can do in terms of uplifting each other and pushing each other up all the time. So I would suggest for that you try and look into some of the networks that there are available, online. And I mentioned 2. One is the Society of Young Publishers, which I'm a big advocate for. They put together some events that you can join to understand a bit more about the industry. They also have sort of like mentoring schemes, and like they do like book clubs and things like that. So you can join this like really great community of young aspiring publishers. And the other one that I'm going to mention is actually Publishing Hopefuls, which is a Facebook group that Christina and Emma have put together, and it's such a wonderful thing. I think there's lots of members and you can just like share tips and kind of like support each other, and those are some 2 different communities that you can tap into, but there's so many more, and I'm gonna link some of my suggestions down below in the description so that you can have a look and join whatever you feel like might be helpful. But it's very important to have a support network and to have some people that you can lean on and that you can talk to. Getting a different perspective on things is so important, and it does help massively to reframe anything that is happening in your life. The final thing that I'm going to say is be patient and be kind to yourself. This is a very long journey, it's very stressful. It's going to be worth it once you do get in. Publishing is a brilliant industry to work in, but you've got to hang in there, and it's an exceptional time and you're doing amazing. So keep going, don't give up, but try and be as smart as possible in your approach to applying for publishing jobs. And that's it for today's video. I hope this was helpful, and if you've got any questions on how to apply for jobs or any questions on my own journey, please leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That will help me massively. And if you've got any requests for any video going forward, let me know as well. And good luck.